Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear and see the screen? I had some technical difficulties. Apologies. I'm still pretty bad at this. Let me know if you hear anything. If you see anything here. Right. Okay. Let's go. Keep this short. Now. Big day today. But I want you to have zero expectations. Anything more is a bonus because, well, although we are waiting for a 10 a.m. Eastern announcement from the Supreme Court, you have to be very careful because they carefully worded it as an opinion. So the Supreme Court has a lot of autonomy. They can decide to do what they want to do. So they just came back from 2 or 3 weeks vacation. I'm not sure. I think it's 2. So they don't have to deal with the tariffs if they choose not to. They don't have to be making a decision if they don't have to. So today may just be an update. And so this is why you see how the news outlets, they are wording it as a Supreme Court opinion and not a verdict or a decision. So just keep that in mind. You just have to be very careful of having expectations. And as a result, if you're taking something really way out of the money, 700, for example, or even way low. Now, you know what I mean. If you're taking something way out of the money, you have to understand that this may not be the day you're looking for. If the Supreme Court does absolutely nothing, we will just burn all the contracts on both ends. So just keep that in mind, all right? It is an opinion, not necessarily a verdict. Now, as we talked about yesterday, just look, penny perfect, isn't it? Just pinned in the wedge. Currently, we're here, right? This is pre-market here, and this is what you see on the 1 minute chart here, pre-market, yeah. So we are still pretty much pinned in the wedge here. Very importantly, you have to be looking out today. If there is major news, you are going to see precision algorithms at play. So today, if you want to be trading heavy, you wait for the precision algorithms. If there is big news, they will appear. Otherwise, you be careful, especially when there is nothing to move the market beyond the ranges. The ranges here, and obviously your 5-day moving average. A little lower, you have your 20-day, as well as a low range here. Keep that in mind. You know the ranges. Try to not overtrade when we are pinned within the range, especially in the liquidity wedge. Now, obviously, you see the market building. Lots of liquidity here for the possibility of a showdown. Now, if it happens, as I mentioned, you will not miss it. If it wants to dump, you will see very clear precision algorithms starting to appear. Otherwise, you can always wait for 5-day retest, right? The market may not be so kind to give us retests, especially if it's news-driven. So all you got to do is to wait for precision algorithms. There are several checkpoints, 20 days one as well as the low at this point here. You can just wait, it's fine. So you see how the blue has already built the liquidity here. So just be more careful, especially if we do breakout a certain range. Now, you see if we do breakout upwards, for example, out of this, but you do not see it break out of that orange, for example, right? We are continuing to taper at the top. You do not see very clear cups that close. The rebuilt structure. Now remember, precision algorithms. If the breakout is not in the precision algorithm today, which is the green buying or green selling algorithm, don't go too heavy. Just be more mindful of that. This is beautiful liquidity here. So just wait out in the first 30 minutes, 9:30 to 10. Figure out the early algorithms. That's what we're going to do. That's the game plan. When 10 o'clock, if there is news and moves the market, you're ready for structure. You're ready to take a trade based on structure here with the 30-minute as well as the 1-minute chart here. So be careful of the wedge. Be careful of the ranges here. Right, I'm just going to mark the ranges, especially the high. And just watch out for precision algorithms. If there is going to be a trend day today, any news, whether favorable or unfavorable, if it creates a trend day, you will not miss it because you will catch it in the 30-minute chart precision algorithms right there. Okay, wrap up the week strong. As I always say, if you already have made lots of profits this week, try to scale down this week, consolidate your profits, draw it out if you want, if you need to, withdraw it today, so you're left with just a small pot to play with. And if you lose everything today, it's inconsequential to you for the week and for the weekend. And if you need to recover today, now you're playing the wrong game. Prepare for next week and start next week strong instead. So psychologically, you have to treat today as a bonus, right? You cannot be going full throttle today. As much as you can, try to keep it more conservative on a Friday, especially for you newer traders out there who cannot yet master or control their emotions. So just be more careful today. Focus on getting Mondays and Fridays right. Because when you start strong and you end strong, usually what's sandwiched in between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you will do absolutely well because you start and you end strong, right? So psychologically, you need to manage that as well. Now, nothing's changed in the morning. In the next 20 minutes, focus on building your rules, conditioning your mind, as I always remind you in the mornings, right? Get your rules out in place, condition, start meditating, preparing your mind for this, as well as, my message on patience as well, right there, right? So you have to condition your mind so you do not run your engine on the concept of greed or whatever emotions that you allow yourself to be controlled by at this point in time, right? So it's about reeling yourself into that mental space and confining yourself in the parameters you allow yourself into, right? That's, in another way to put it, you're in the zone. Just try to put yourself in the zone, right, by doing that, because you can be waking up to all sorts of emotions that sometimes, to some of you, spilled over from the prior day because you don't wrap up your day and you don't start your day properly by conditioning your mind. You allow emotions to run all over the place, and in a way you are just living for the moment, and that's not truly the wise thing to do. Stay in control, so condition yourself, and then you prepare from the mental into the intellectual, into the emotional, and then spiritual, if you want to, physical as well, as you prepare yourself, and then financial. You figure out how much you're going to put in the pot today to start trading. As I mentioned Friday, what I usually do is I will draw out I will leave maybe about 5 to 10,000 just to trade on Fridays. Usually everything's mostly out. That's what I do. Payday for me is on Friday, right? So that's the money I make for the week, and then I call it a week. That's what you need to do, so you don't make any mistakes on Friday. That will affect you throughout the weekends, and as a result, will affect you on Monday when you start the week. Always remember, you have to be on top. Try not to be chasing from behind. When you're trading and you're chasing from behind, it breeds so many bad habits. So always try to be on top. Always try to be ahead. And that's why if you're ahead, you can call it a day if you're ahead. That's a very good habit for yourself. Remember, trading it's like that. You have to always call it when you're ahead, right? Don't be calling it when you're losing, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to create lots of bad habits. Chasing, for example, it's one of them. So you have to be very careful, right? Wrap today strong if you need to. Set alerts if the market's not moving. Set alerts. Come back final 30 minutes, right? We'll look for some opportunities, for some small gamble, and you have to remember that what you're doing is intellectual gambling. So you just have to be more mindful of that. Yeah. So thank you very much. I'm experimenting this. Not sure how it'll work out, but we'll figure it out along the way. So thank you for indulging me, and see you closer to opening bell.